Hey everybody, welcome back to this random journey. Today we're going to be talking about real Christmas trees versus plastic Christmas trees and why I think that is a part of being a minimalist. If you're new here, I would like to say hi, welcome. My name's Amanda and we have just started on our journey to becoming minimalists. If you'd like to follow our journey, you can watch us every Monday on Minimize Monday at 5 p.m. I've made a list of 5 reasons why we enjoy getting a real Christmas tree versus having just the plastic Christmas tree. Reason number 5 is that you have a very wide variety of types of Christmas trees and sizes of Christmas trees that you can choose from. So every year you get to pick a new kind of Christmas tree. It's never going to look the same. It's going to be totally different, and I absolutely love the variety that there is. So this year we actually got a different type of Christmas tree than we did last year. So we've been getting real Christmas trees for only 2 years now and we're absolutely loving it. So being able to pick whatever kind of Christmas tree that we want to get, I think is pretty cool. Aside from going and just putting up the same exact Christmas tree every year that looks exactly the same, that doesn't change from year to year and is just basic. I absolutely love that we can pick the tallest Christmas tree we want, the shortest Christmas tree we want, the fattest, the skinniest, and there's a huge variety of types of Christmas trees that we can pick from. So I absolutely love that aspect of it, and that's why that's pick number 5. Number 4, I love that it freshens up the living room space. So in the winter, it gets kind of stuffy inside, and in the years past, it kind of gets kind of doom and gloom, even with the plastic Christmas tree, and I love the lights on it and everything, but it didn't really freshen up the space. With a real Christmas tree, however, the space actually smells fresher. You got the smell of the Christmas tree, the air quality is better because the oxygen that the real Christmas tree is putting out, and it is purifying the air as it is circulating through there. So I really like the aspect that it freshens up the space that it's in, and it brings a little bit of the outdoors in when we can't get outside so much. Number 3 is the experience of going and getting the Christmas tree. So we really enjoy taking the kids and having that experience where we get to go to the Christmas tree lot and pick out that perfect Christmas tree. This year's experience was totally different than the experience before. This year we went to the lot, and if you watched the video this past Thursday, you would see that the Christmas trees were covered in snow because we had gotten a snow. And so it was a totally different experience having to figure out how do we look at the Christmas trees? Well, we had to bang them on the ground so we could get the snow off. So it's just a totally different experience. We absolutely loved it again this year because every year is going to be different. And we have found out that there is a Christmas tree farm here in our town. So we could go and we could cut down our own Christmas tree. So we were really excited to try that in some future year to come. Reason number 2 that we like getting a real Christmas tree versus the store-bought Christmas tree is storage. So we used to have our Christmas tree that we would put up every year in the living room. And then we had a backup tree, whatever that means. It was in case the tree that we put up, because it was pre-lit, if the lights went out, we could just pull out that other one and get rid of the other tree. Why we had 2, that's why, I guess. Anyway. So, the storage aspect, we had those 2 Christmas trees, and then we had the little small Christmas tree that was in Elizabeth's room, and it was the kids' tree, where we had all their homemade paper and that type of ornaments on it, and we've decided to eliminate that tree as well and won't be putting that up anymore. So that allows us to have that extra space in the shed to be able to store other things that are more important, to be honest. And so we love not having to store those, and we can just go get our tree when it's time to get our tree instead of storing it into the shed. So that is part of the minimal aspect of this. Reason why we get a Christmas tree, a real Christmas tree instead of the fake Christmas tree, is that we are not having to store that in the shed any longer. Now we are getting it, and then it is leaving. So what do we do after Christmas is done with our Christmas tree? And this brings me to my number 1 reason why we get a real Christmas tree. About a year ago, whenever I put out that video about should we become minimalist? That around that time, I also was looking into the zero waste lifestyle. We have implemented so many things around zero waste in our lifestyle, and I really felt at the time that we were searching and doing all that getting rid of our Christmas trees and no longer purchasing them was very, very important. Christmas trees are made out of a lot of plastic and are not biodegradable. And that alone made me question why we were putting up this fake tree every single year. It's hurting our environment that we will use this tree, especially if you have the pre-lit trees, because what tends to happen with the pre-lit trees is you'll have them for a few years and then some of the lights will start going out and they don't look as pretty. So you're like, well, I want to get a new tree, or they start looking kind of old. And so you're like, I want to get a new Christmas tree because this one's not looking good anymore. But then what do you do with that plastic Christmas tree? You chuck it into the garbage, or you give it to Goodwill and someone else uses it and then they throw it in the garbage. So the plastic Christmas trees wind up in the landfills, and they're there for a very long time. Plastic does not biodegrade, and it stays for hundreds of years. And the toxicity of the plastic is another huge factor, that you're putting up a plastic tree with warm lights around it, and it can almost have a chemical smell sometimes when you put up a plastic Christmas tree. And so the air quality is not good, and that kind of takes me back to the freshness aspect of why I like a real Christmas tree. But anyway, the biodegradable aspect of it is so much better. What we do with our Christmas tree after we're done is we take it to a pond or a lake where the fish can, the small fish that are like baby fish, can go under there and they can have safety from the bigger fish. And so this is helping the fish be able to live longer and to grow into larger fish, which helps the population of the fish. And my husband is he loves to go fishing, so this is helping him to be able to have more fish wherever he likes to go fishing. So you might be like, well, there has to be some cons. And yes, there is some cons. So I will go over those cons with you now. There is 5 cons that I came up with, and I'm going to be honest, it was a struggle to find the 5 cons for me personally, but I did come up with 5 cons for you guys, just in case, and to make you kind of think if a real Christmas tree, would be the right fit for you. Number 5, you have to water your Christmas tree every day. And we don't have a problem getting our Christmas tree watered. Our youngest son actually waters our Christmas tree for us, and we've come up with a new technique and a new way, so it's even easier than taking a cup every single time. So we use we have like a siphon thing that we use for like our fish tank, and we fill up a bucket just a little bit with water, and we use the siphon to get the water from the bucket into the Christmas tree base. And so that's been working out really great, and we will continue to water the Christmas tree that way. So that might be a con for you if you don't like the idea of having to water your Christmas tree. We don't mind so much. So to us, it's not really a con. It's kind of a fun thing to be able to do every day, and it is teaching our youngest son and other children responsibility. Number 4, you're going to have some way to haul your Christmas tree from the store or farm to your house, and you're going to have people to carry it in and out of your house. So if you're elderly or if you're a single person, maybe find a friend or a family member that could go with you to the Christmas tree lot, or that you could borrow their vehicle to get the Christmas tree. For us, it's not an issue. Again, we have a trailer which we can put our Christmas tree on, and we have a son who is more than capable of helping us get it from the lot to the trailer, from the trailer into the house. But that could be a problem for someone who is by themselves or is elderly. So just that is something that could be a con for someone out there. Con number 3 could be that you don't like the needles that fall off the tree. Now, we really haven't had any problem with the needles and not liking needles falling from the tree. Last year, the only time we really had any problem with the needles was when we were carrying the tree into the house, and when we were carrying the tree out of the house. There wasn't really needles that were falling constantly from the tree. The only time needles fell from the tree was when someone brushed up against the tree. And in our house, there's a rule, once the tree's decorated, you don't touch it. So to me, it's not that big of a deal, but to someone it might be, because if you're carrying the tree in, there is needles. And like I said, when you're carrying the tree out, there is quite a bit more needles than when you're bringing it in, because the tree has started to dry out, and so the needles are more brittle and fall off more easily. So there is quite a bit of needles, but they're easily vacuumed or swept up, and I don't really see that as a big issue, but to someone it might be. So my number 2 reason that you might not want a real Christmas tree is the cost. So with a plastic Christmas tree, you go out, you purchase it for, I don't know, let's say $60, and you have this Christmas tree for 3 years. We'll break that down over 3 years, and it's not too bad of a cost. With a real Christmas tree, you do have a cost every single year of going and purchasing your Christmas tree. For me and my family, that is not really that big of a con because of the experience aspect. As I talked about earlier, I really think the experience is important. So I really don't see that as a con. It's almost a plus for me because we are getting to experience something as a family. But to someone, you might not have that much income, or you might not have that kind of money readily available. So it might be a struggle to go and get one every single year. With that being said, if you wait longer to get your Christmas tree, you can get your Christmas tree on discount. We got our Christmas tree this year on discount, and we paid $26 for our Christmas tree. And it fills up from floor to ceiling with our star on it, and it is very large Christmas tree. I don't feel like we lost anything from getting that Christmas tree. It's still perfectly healthy. We watered it, we had them cut it, and we watered it as soon as we got it home. It's a very good tree, and we just got it on discount because it had been sitting there long enough. And most people put their Christmas tree up like the day after Thanksgiving. If you can hold off and you can wait until later once you get into December, you're going to get your Christmas tree on discount more than likely. And it's just as good, and you can enjoy it past Christmas. You can keep it up. So that could be a con for someone having to buy and purchase a Christmas tree every year. But the aspect of the experience for us outweighs that con. So my number 1 con, and the most important one in my opinion, would be if you have allergies. If you are allergic to a type of tree that comes into your house, it could be very bad. So that would be my number 1 con. If you know that you are allergic to a certain type of tree, do not bring it into your house. However, my son has really bad allergies year-round, and we have not noticed any difference whenever we bring in a Christmas tree to his allergies. And so for us, it's not a con, but I'm serious whenever I say, you know, if you're allergic, do not bring it in your house if you are allergic. And definitely if you bring a Christmas tree into your house and you find you are allergic, get it out of your house immediately. So guys, that is my top 5 reasons why I think you should get a real Christmas tree, or at least look into it. And my 5 cons of why you might want to think about not getting one, possibly. But I still say you should try it if it's not the allergy thing. If you guys liked this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.